are no better or no bigger than, with all due respect, Judge Omar Maldonado, myself, or any other elected official. They're elected like anyone else. They go and give their time and their dedication, not knowing what the future's gonna show, and put their name on the dotted line so that people can vote for them in their precinct and be involved and be known as the chair for the Democratic Party that they can turn to when they need voting information, when they need to know when or where to go vote, or just to get community organized to help with the principles that are important to our party. So when you leave here tonight, think about that. They're just like any other judge, or a district attorney, or a county chair, or a state rep, or a congressman for that matter, or a congresswoman. They are here because they care so much about our community that they have taken a step above and beyond what the ordinary citizen does. They've become an elected official to help spread our democratic message. So that in mind, keep in mind that our main goal, our main primary, is to support the Democratic Party at all times. Now, I'm a guy that looks to the future, I don't look in the past. We can certainly point to many times when people in our own community, in our own Democratic Party, did not support the party at different times. And I trust, and one thing I'm thankful for, is the vast majority of you who stood up to that and said, you know what, we're all Democrats here, and we all need to push, and we all need to make sure that good people get elected. So your job as a precinct chair is to get to know your precinct, get to know the voters, particularly your Democratic voters, so you can remind them when it's time to go vote. Get to know the Republican voters so that you can perhaps change their mind and get them to vote Democrat this time. And get to know your independent voters so you can help us spread the word that the principles of opportunity, equality, fairness, the basic tenets of the Democratic Party are what we believe in and what we go and work hard to represent and get those candidates to believe in that elected to office. Because we know, particularly with the rhetoric we see on the other side, that those types of values are not being espoused, certainly by the head of the Republican Party, the presumed head of the Republican Party. So we're going to be calling, in terms of those goals and those plans, we're going to be calling upon each one of you to help us get involved in the party. I've sent out an email that you'll see in this next 2 years. We're going to do a lot of things differently. One, we're going to do more committee assignments. And I've passed around, or we've emailed to all of y'all the committees that we'll have. I'm hoping that you will email me or text me or Kenna and let me know which of the committees, or if you're going to be part of the executive board, what you would like to join so that I can make the decision on the team that will lead this organization, as well as the committees that will help us meet our goals and get more Democrats and meet our ultimate goal of getting more Democrats elected. So that's what we do as a Democratic Party. Let me be very clear of what we are not. We are not a public office. We are not a public entity. We have open meetings. We are open, we show everything, we are transparent in terms of our finances and the money that comes in and comes out, but we have an opportunity to set the rules, to keep order, and to make sure that nothing gets out of hand. And this next term, I'll be presenting a set of rules that will enhance the Texas Democratic Party rules that I hope we can follow in our meetings. We are not an investigative body. If anyone believes that there's corruption in Hidalgo County, I strongly encourage you to go to the law enforcement and let them know. But it is not the job of this body to investigate, to incriminate, to make insinuations, to do any of that. It is your job, as a citizen, I believe, to report that. And let me tell you as a lawyer, if you try to do that investigation on your own, if you think you're doing your county or yourself or your candidate good by recording a conversation that you think may be used in some type of corruption that you think may be going on, you're only hurting that investigation. I can promise you that. There isn't one law enforcement agency out there that would go and say, oh, look, a private citizen brought me some wiretaps. Boy, this is great. They don't do that. And some of y'all in law enforcement, y'all will know that. So again, those are the things that we are not. And I mention that not because I'm trying to create ill will, but to keep us focused on what our true goal is and what our shared values are. I took this job 2 years ago. As many as you know, like y'all's job, it's a volunteer position. I can tell you in that period of time, there have been many things that have transpired, illegal recordings or people recording people, allegations being made that I would not wish on some of my worst enemies. But it doesn't deter me in knowing that what I do for our community, and I do for my community. For Ricky and Nathan and Lily and Abby. Those are my kids. I want so much that someday, and they're wicked smart guys, I hope someday when they're finished with their school, they'll make a decision to come back to this community like I did and call it home because they love it like I do. And I want them to have the same opportunities I had in a blue county. Because I know under the Democratic Party rules, it truly is the only party that doesn't look at color or race or who you love or how you love or your gender. It only looks at the opportunity of each and every one of you. Each of the opportunity that I see in my kids every day, that I see in their friends' faces when they come by the house. That's what keeps me here. That's what called me to this position. That's why I decided to continue, regardless of whatever personal attacks or things that may happen. And that's why I focus on through this term. And I encourage all of you, whether you supported me or whether you didn't support me, to join me in that effort. Join me. Join all of us as we go down this journey. Think of what you are a part of. Each one of you are part of an intricate process that will create history this year if we work. We will elect the first woman to the highest office of the land. And that's followed by the first person of color to the position. If she makes the presidential pick or vice presidential pick as we hope, and we suspect, and I hope it happens, I hope that whoever has this position 8 years from now will say, and now we're going to have the first Hispanic president. And each one of you plays such an important role in that journey, that historic journey, that you could tell your kids and grandkids and those behind you that you were part of that process. Now, I wasn't part of the process in 2008 when Barack Obama became president. I am part of the process now, and I can promise you that I work hard as I possibly can, raising money, putting together committees, working with each and every one of you. If we work together to make sure that we can make that claim, and that together we can make that claim and put our stake in history that we were part of the process, the official process that elected the first woman, and probably the most qualified person we've ever seen run for office. So I thank you. I welcome you. I want to thank the friends and family in the audience, because there are going to be times you don't see your loved ones here, because I'm going to ask them to be involved, to go walk with us, or to make some phone calls, or to help with a fundraiser. That's going to take away from your family time. And I apologize in advance, but remember this. As much as each of these elected officials are involved in that process, you, by being their loved one, is involved in it too. So when they're gone, don't be too hard on him or her. Just remember that what their heart is And what their heart is doing is to make life better for all of us. Welcome to this term. We're gonna have a fantastic 2 years. We're gonna break records and we're gonna have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So I thank all of you guys for coming today. I thank all of y'all for the sacrifices that you made to get here. And I thank you for the hard work we're all gonna put in to not only keep Hidalgo County the bluest in the state, but to be part of a historic journey to elect the first woman president. Thank you very much.